In our last video, we showed how you can design creative presentations with the help of smart slides placed in the space. Now, fasten your seatbelts for more excitement, folks. We need to talk about the most spectacular part of MaxWhere, the story. MaxWhere is considered by many to be the greatest breakthrough in the evolution of tools of presentation. In a traditional presentation, the only way you can move between the slides in strict order from one to the next. In MaxWhere, by contrast, you can jump to any viewpoint within the space and to any smartboard. In this way, you can create a genuine 3D presentation. Stereoscopic vision and spatial memory are two of the strongest faculties of our brain. That's why presentations held in MaxWhere are remembered better by the audience than presentations held using traditional presentation software, as demonstrated by university researchers who have investigated the cognitive features of MaxWhere. When giving a presentation in MaxWhere, you can start by showing your audience the structure of your presentation while giving them an opportunity to see the whole space. And then, regardless of where you are in the space, just fly to the next smart slide, showing from any angle you choose. And then, perhaps you can move to the other end of the smart slide, looking at it from a different angle to highlight some specific detail on the slide. And don't worry, creating a story like this is not complicated at all. Just check this out. First, you open the story editing stones by clicking the blue play button. If you click on the plus button, MaxWhere will register your point of view as the next step in the story. By moving to different locations and viewpoints in the space, you can open the editing stones again and again, and keep adding new points of view to the story. In this way, you can create any random sequence of viewpoints or steps in the story. You can move between the steps with the help of the left and right arrow keys. Should there arise any question from the audience during your presentation, or should you like to show them something else, you can still move to any place within the space using your mouse. You can always return to your presentation by pressing the arrow buttons. Note that you have two very useful options during your presentations. If you're looking at a smartboard and the crosshair is pointed at it, you can navigate within the content displayed on the smartboard using the up and down arrow keys. For example, you can start, stop, or rewind a slideshow, navigate up and down within a web page, and even stop a video placed in a smartboard. So the entire presentation can be managed using the 4 arrow keys. If you want to quickly jump to a smartboard and then return to your original viewpoint, use the space key. For example, consider what happens when a question arises in connection with a slide during or after your presentation, or when you want to skip a set of slides due to lack of time without the audience noticing. In such cases, you don't have to step through the whole presentation as you would have to with traditional presentations tools. Instead, just have a look around in the space, aim your crosshair the slide you want to continue with, and click the blue hashtag stone in order to fly right to the corresponding step in the story. This is a highly elegant feature that is considered by users to be one of the most useful features provided by MaxWhere. But wait, there's more. Not only does MaxWhere allow the user to display smart slides during presentations, but it also allows the user to circle around and look at their 3-dimensional products, plans, and designs from various angles. When doing so, it is useful to be able to set the timing of the transitions between neighboring points of view in the story. By clicking on a stone with a running figure, you can either choose to have a beautiful artistic transition or a fast, dynamic one. If you want to change the viewpoints of the lecture at any time, then you can delete any step given whose ordinal number is displayed on the step counter. You can also click on the stone that says Replace to replace a step in the story with a current viewpoint, whereas clicking the plus stone will add the current viewpoint as the next step. You can jump to the start of your story by pressing the blue stone that says number 1. Alternatively, if you are at the end of your presentation, just go to the next step and you will see that the story loops back to the first step rather than exiting. If you are at an exhibition, you can use the autoplay stone to have MaxWhere step through your story automatically. In this case, your viewers will see the full story without any interaction from you. Don't worry, you can still stop the autoplay feature at any point and continue manually. There are 2 timing settings associated with the autoplay feature. The transition times taken into consideration, so that some transitions can be slower while others faster. The other timing setting that is important to know about is the waiting time, which defines how many seconds the viewpoint will stay at a given step before transitioning automatically to the next one. Using these two timing settings, you can create a film-like rhythm for your automated presentations. Finally, the whole story can be deleted easily by clicking the clear stone. However, by clicking the magic wand stone, you can ask MaxWhere to create an automatically generated tour of the space from smartboard to smartboard. By clicking the default stone, it's possible to load the story that was recommended by the designer of the space. This can be very useful when learning new materials at school. Students can freely modify the story based on their own way of studying, but later return to the sequence of viewpoints recommended by the teacher. Default story is also useful for tour guides in virtual museums and in digital exhibition spaces. If you want to share or save the complete presentation, you can do so by creating a bundle or a pack using orange stones. So, using MaxWhere, you are guaranteed to be able to create the most memorable presentations without any limiting constraints to your creativity. Just sit back and enjoy the success you are sure to have.